I'd like all of you to stick with me, but I want to bring in Congressman Byron Donalds now, a Florida Republican whose name has been mentioned as a potential Kevin McCarthy replacement. It's good of you to come on the program, Congressman. Over the weekend, you said that Kevin McCarthy is in trouble. Will you vote to remove him as Speaker, and why or why not?
Well, first of all, it's good to be with you. Let's answer that question. I'm not going to vote to remove him. I believe that this process is premature. This is too soon. We have a ton of work that needs to be done here on Capitol Hill. We have about 42 days to finish the appropriations process, and to take up floor time to do this is just the wrong way to go. Secondarily, there's really not been a large discussion amongst members about this procedure. I know the rule where one member can trigger it, and I do agree with that rule as it exists. But it's really has, in my view, how it really is supposed to work is you have that discussion with a lot of members to see if you can build support for that. That's not occurred as well. I think this is the wrong time. I'm going to be voting not to vacate.
And what conversations are you having with other Republicans? Do you believe that among that core group that support Matt Gaetz, there's any wiggle room there? How do you see this playing out, Congressman?
Well, look, in terms of talking with other members, this is really going to be every member for themselves. I don't really think you have like a coalition forming here. I think members are going to have to make a decision of what they think is in the best interest of their districts, what they think is going to be in the best interest of the country, and it's going to go from there. Had a couple of informal conversations, but it's really just to see where people are. There wasn't really a lot of convincing or anything like that going on.
So let me ask you about what's in the best interest of the country, because you have expressed it, and we've heard it from any number of other Republicans who will vote as you do, that this is not the time. There's a lot on the plate of Congress. They need to get things done for the American people. Does it frustrate you? Does it anger you? How do you feel about the idea of a small number of people representing their constituents as they feel they are or not, essentially holding the rest of the Congress who may feel differently hostage?
Well, look, it doesn't frustrate me. You know, this is democracy. This is the very essence of when you have people who have disagreements, you have to either air those disagreements or find a way to compromise on them. So it doesn't bother me. The only thing I want to keep focused on is that our border is a mess. It is wide open. It's hurting Americans in every city in our country, every state in our country. It needs to be fixed. Our debt is too high. Our deficits are massive. We got to cut spending so that we can actually continue to get the fiscal health of our nation back on track. Those are the primary two things that need to occur, and we have the next 43 days to figure that out. So my only concern is by taking up time with this process, you're taking away from that.
And as you know, because you've lived it firsthand, 43 days may sound like a lot, but it is not when you're talking about the kinds of issues that you want to address, and there are obviously others as well. So let's say that Speaker McCarthy doesn't survive. Your name has been floated as a potential replacement. Would you be interested in being Speaker?
Honestly, not going to get into that right now. I'm going to worry about the procedure on the floor. If anything I've seen the last 30, 45 days around here is stuff is fluid moment to moment. My only message from my colleagues is that we need to stand together here in the Republican House. We need to make sure that we're working hard to get the agenda passed and then starting to work with the Senate in order to address the issues that the American people are facing. I don't do the palace intrigue stuff. We'll see what happens down the road.
You say you have had some informal conversations. Have you spoken to Matt Gaetz directly?
No, we've not talked about this, no.
Would you like to have a conversation with him?
At some point, but, you know, the cat's out of the bag now, so we're going to see this be dispensed with one way or the other on the House floor. And so I think right now it's about, you know, talking to members, seeing where members are, giving members an opportunity, you know, really to process this. You got to understand, members went home Saturday, some members went home Sunday, like myself, and then by the time you get home, you start looking at your phone and you're saying, oh, wait, he's saying there's going to be a motion. We get back yesterday and then the motion is filed. So members are really trying to think through this in real time while they've been focused on the nation's fiscal issues and our southern border, which is a complete mess and a crisis.
Have you been getting an earful, Congressman, from your constituents?
They've been calling, and some members some people in my district want to go through with the motion to vacate. I understand their position, and look, the position for a lot of Americans is Washington has lied to them for too many years. Washington has not been serious about the issues facing this country for too many years. But every 2 years, every 4 years, politicians go home, campaign about they're going to fix all this stuff, and they come up here, they waste time, they're not serious, they're not focused. So you have a lot of Americans who are saying enough is enough, just be done with the place. But I think that the prudent position is to use every tool available to address the needs of the American people, and I want to exhaust that before we even get into any other conversations.
Should there be a reexamination, though, do you think, Congressman, of House rules so that one person or a small group of people can cause essentially the entire Congress to shut down while we figure out what's going to happen next? Look, I'm not in Congress, but I hear the same things that you hear when I'm out across the country in different states, and people are saying, why is Congress talking about things that don't matter? Why aren't they getting things done? So should a rules change be looked at?
Actually, I don't agree with that. And I would say it's in some respects makes us in line with the Senate. In the United States Senate, one senator can hold up business because they are representing the interests of their state. If you have a member or a group of members who feel that strongly about the direction of the way the House is operating, they should be able to bring that to the fore. Members should debate that, deliberate that, and then dispense with that business one way or the other. We have to get back to an institution, and I believe as somebody who was involved very intimately in the battle for Speaker of the House back in January, the House of Representatives is to represent every district in America, not just the leadership districts and not just a group of 20 or 30 members who join a caucus. Every member should have the ability to represent their district, whether I agree with their positions or not.
You've been very generous with your time. Congressman Byron Donalds, thank you so much. Good luck as this moves forward over the next several hours. We appreciate it.